Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of my DS mapping tutorials. This one picks up right where the last episode left off, where you have just successfully exported your map, object, IMD, and NSB out of PDSMS, and you are now ready to insert them into a ROM. This way also, even if you made your own map in PDSMS on your own time without using part 1, you can still jump into this video right here, and it should help. Now, the current method to insert maps requires that you insert your map over an existing map in the ROM. This means you have to cleanly replace not only the map itself, but then also remove things like the buildings that were on that map, the NPCs that wandered around it, and also coding events when an NPC stops you and you're forced to talk to them. That means a video just showing you how to insert a map isn't enough. So my goal today with this video is going to not only be to show you how to insert your map into a ROM, but to also remove the bits from the old map so that your map goes in fresh and clean. We have also not yet talked about adding buildings to maps. That's going to be in a future part 3 video. So for this video, I'm also going to show you how to do a simple hex edit to change where your character is placed after the intro is done when you start a new save file. So you'll appear right in the overworld. This should make it so that you can load right into your custom map and walk around it. So as you can tell, we're going to go through a few different steps in this video, but the end result should be that you can insert the map you made and set it as the starting location after the intro of the game. In a way, this will be the start of your own Pokemon world, because then it will also show you how to insert a second map that connects to your first one to make your world bigger, where you can keep adding more from there. And potentially make your own region if you go crazy enough. I know this is a pretty big promise, but after finally learning map editing with the very smart people I mentioned from the Discord server, I think I can safely say this is not near as hard as I thought originally, which hopefully you can tell because this video is an hours long. Oh, and I do recommend, if you haven't already, to download the zip folder of tools from the description of my videos so you can follow along. All the files and tools that I show in these videos will be in there for your reference, just like from part 1. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, since everything should be included in the tools folder, is open it, and then I'm going to copy this folder that I've added, the map editing, and I'm going to paste it right there, and we're going to use everything that's inside of it, so that I know that you will have what I have here. Perfect. And then from inside there, I'm going to open up SDSME, like so. Alright, so I'll start by going to load ROM, and then from the desktop, finding my blank platinum ROM. Perfect. Okay, so it'll tell me that. I hit OK, and it'll load in all of those maps that it just found. So like I mentioned in part 1, my plan is to insert my custom map over the starting area. That's Twin Leaf Town. So I need map 411, which is way down here, like so. And the first thing to check is going to be this area data here. And what the area data is this pick list down here that I can also move to number 6. This will confirm what tile set this map's currently using, which is 6. Now for me, that's the same tile set I used to make my map, but it would be this value you would change. You'd want to scroll through these and find whichever map is using the tile set that you want, and then change this by clicking into it and typing in the number of the area data you need from this list. But like I said, I'm using 6, so I'm already good. Oh, and if you do change it, make sure to click Save Header Data over here. Alright. Now where we are right now is the map header. So this is information about the map, but it's not the map file itself. Like you'll see what music it uses and stuff like that. But we can move from here to the map if we go to the matrix. Double click and it'll jump us over to the matrix editor. And you can see this thing. Now you may think this is a big mess like I did when I first saw it, but if you look at the white areas on this matrix, it's actually shaped similarly to the town map in Platinum. So you can use the town map in Platinum as a reference to where your files are. Like for me, I'm working with Twin Leaf, which I can see down here. And this number 0411 matches the map header that I have over here, just with a 0 in front of it. So that's good. I don't want to click anything here though. To find the map, I want to go up here to map files and define map 0000, which is in the same spot and the same shape with just slightly different colors. And here I can double click and it'll jump me right to this map in the map editor. Okay, and here is where we want to insert the files you got out of PDSMS. Okay, so now we will reach phase 1 of this video, which is to insert your map. And I'm going to start by going to the 3D model, import, and I need to go to where I saved my files, which again, you will find in this map editing folder when you download the toolzip file. Okay, and you'll find it in map examples, Jay's video map examples, and starting hill. Alright, so thankfully it's already going to filter down to just the file you need because there's a lot of things in this folder. So I double click on the NSBMD, and you'll see when I insert these are not going to have the same file extensions as the buttons you use to export them from PDSMS, but as long as you export it correctly, you'll have all these files, which is fine. So double click here. Oh, and then you will get this sometimes. Embedded textures have been automatically removed from this model. What this is referring to, if I go under map editing and go under this and go under bin and open up PDSMS. If you exported your NSDMV and you kept this checked, get out of here. This is the data it's talking about. This is later used, like I said in part 1, for buildings and stuff, so we don't need to worry about that yet. But if you leave this check and export, and when you import, you will see this warning here. Oh well, here. But this is okay. This does not matter for importing the map, so you can leave it alone. I mention all this because what happens when you click OK, everything's gone. So you just saw the word remove, but that's okay. All that happened was this pick list down here changed away from 6, which happens anytime you import an object. So you go back to 6, everything's fine. So it's okay. And okay, so next one I'm going to do is the movement permissions. And I got my .per for permission file there. Which again, it changed this pick list, scaring the crap out of me. You change it back, it's still fine. And then you do the terrain, where you do your BDHC. That's the one with the plates on it. Okay, boom, just like that. And now we don't, for this map, have to worry about buildings. I don't, or importing any buildings. My map didn't include any buildings yet. So for now, we'll leave that alone. I'm going to come over here and check the move permissions, and so you can see all the 80s that I put, including the ones I forgot last time. Oops. And then the bridge data as well. And you can see that everything came in a-okay. So that's phase 1. That's it. Your map is now inserted. However, if you were to view this in the game, the buildings, the houses of Twinleaf would still show up. SDSME does not show them. That's why when we first looked at this map, it was Twinleaf, but without the buildings on it. But you can see if they are there, because if you go to edit buildings, here they are. So now we get into phase 2 of this video, which is to clear out the original buildings so they don't show up on there. So you can see like where they would show up and it would just be a mess in the trees. So what I can do here is just remove, and then remove, and just keep doing that till all the buildings are gone. Thankfully, removing everything is a lot easier than adding, which of course adding should be explained in part 3 when I talk about buildings. That's fine. Right now we're just going to clear it out so that everything looks good. So close that down, you can open it back up. Everything is good. Okay, and that's phase 2. So that's part of cleaning up the old map data. Okay, so now we're going to go into phase 3, which is the scripts from the old map. And to see that, I'm going to go back to the map headers, which has the information about the map. And one of these rows is scripts, like so. And I can double click it. And there's just some coding that the old map used that we don't want it to use anymore. So the first thing, to make sure that there's this is a blank map is to just delete everything on the scripts tab except for end. Make sure to leave end there so there's no crash. But functions you can just completely clear out. Totally gone. Okay, already nothing in movements, but if there's anything in there, be sure to clear it out and then save current. Perfect. Okay. And that's phase 3. See, not so bad so far. Not so bad. Like I said, it's a lot easier to clear this stuff out than it is to put it back in again. Now I'm done with map 1, but part of what I said was I also wanted to insert a second map to connect to this one as an example. So I'm going to connect, let's see here, I'll go back to the matrix editor. So we're still on matrix 0, which is the overworld, and I'm looking at the one directly north of Twin Leaf, which is 0342. That's route 201, where in Platinum you get your starter with the professor and all that. So what I actually can do from here, now that I know where that's at, because you can use this as a map to figure out where stuff is to double click here on the map headers tab, and it'll take me to the map header. So here is my stuff. Now this second map that I made also has, tile set 6. So I already know from last time that 6 is the one that I need. Like so I can leave that alone. So I just go back to the matrix editor, which I'll just do again by double clicking. I know. Which I'll just do by double clicking, and then that's highlighted, but I want to go to the map files before clicking and click on 0005 for route 201. I'm going to say a lot of numbers. I better be clear about that. Okay, and here it is. So I'm going to do a quick run through the same thing again, which is to import the 3D model. I'm going to go up a level, go to my second map, the Northern Pool. Okay, I get the same warning because I didn't uncheck that box in, no. Because I left that box checked in PDSMS, so I hit OK. Scare me. And fine. And there's my top map, which you'll see will sit nicely on top of my example map. And then, so terrain settings, this will remember that I'm in the Northern Pool. Good. And then the move permissions, Northern Pool. Good. Scare me again. And then move permissions are all good. Everything is set A-OK on there. You see in this one I have water and grass. And again, the save file and everything is in the folder for you to view if you want to play with this. But okay, so we come back to the 3D view. So that's phase 1 for this map. Phase 2, edit the buildings. Aren't any? Cool. Phase 2 done. Phase 3, the script. So we go back to the map header. Come here. Go to the script file. No movements. We're still on that tab. Okay, so this, delete everything except for end. Functions. Get rid of all that. So end, empty, empty. Good. Save. And okay. That's 2 maps inserted. So now we go into phase, what are we at? We're at phase 4. Phase 4 is the eventing. But, so even though SDSME has an event editor, it's unfinished and doesn't actually function. So we need to use a different tool for that, which is going to be PPRE, specifically PPRE B014, which is in the folder, and I'll go get that. Thankfully, like I mentioned in the first video, there is a new tool being worked on, the Nomura tool, which is going to be completed and be able to make these things much more easier to do. So this video may be short-lived, depending on how long it takes for that tool to come out and I make a new video. But I want to have this out here now for you guys to use in the meantime. Anyway, yes, let's go over to PPRE. So what I need to do, now that I'm here, is go, okay, save ROM, and I'm just going to call them Platinum _ maps. Go to desktop and save, and it'll be right there. Nice. Alright, so we can close. We'll leave that open just in case. It's often good to leave this tool open because it has that so much data changed in it. So we'll minimize that for now. Get it out of the way. And we can close this down, and close that down. We're going to go into the map editing folder, and now we're going to go to PPRE B014. And what you have to do for this one is take the ROM you just made in SDSME and you have to put it in the folder for PPRE. Boom. Like that. Okay. And you run the executable here. And we have this little window on there. Okay. So what you can do with this version is click Choose ROM. And then click that one there. But do not forget to also click Set ROM. That'll run the command to set it in there. And now you can click Maps. If you don't click that, nothing will happen. But when you do, you get this window. Okay. There is a fair amount of data here on this window. Thankfully, we only have to worry about the events here. What we have to do is figure out where our other maps are. Now, there are two ways to do this. What I'll show in my example here is that we're going to go down and try to find Twin Leaf. Twin Leaf. Okay, and we'll click the very first Twin Leaf one, which is here. Okay, good. And you can confirm that this is the right one. Which is why I left SDSME open. I swear I planned these things. Okay, so you can see that the map number is the header number, 411, and also the code name here, TO1, is the same as the internal name, TO1, there as well. That way you know you're editing the right map, even though it's a different tool. And also you can kind of see the confusion when someone tries to learn this, because here it calls it the map, but the actual map number for 411 is 000. So make sure to pay attention to all that so you know which numbers you're dealing with when. But alright, so we'll come back into this tool, get SDSME out of the way. And so the eventing tab, and all we have to do is for each of these tabs, so the furniture, for this one, I think either the furniture or the overworld is like the mailboxes and the people who walk around, and the warps are where you can come to. Triggers are things like what, like when you're in Twin Leaf Town and you try to walk north, the rival dad will stop you and say, go to my house and talk to my son. And so you can make those all go away for each tab and turning that to 0. 0. And 0. And 0. Okay. So we do save changes, and the best way to test it is to scroll up and come back down, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay. Save again, just because, it's great. Now, again, that's map number 1. We're already done with phase 4 for map number 1. But I also have my secondary map, which that one I'll just come in here, check the name. Will be Route 201, which is the top route. Nope. Yeah, the top route here. Okay, which is 342, which would be the same as the map header from SDSME. And if you check the overworld, none of those. Okay, warps, none of those. Triggers, none of those. And this should be removing the original spiel, the opening spiel that you have with the professor and everybody. So save, So you can still see these tabs are kind of here, even though it says 0. So when you come here, you scroll up, come back down, and now they are empty tabs. Beautiful. Save again because cautious. Okay, so we'll close that down. And we are already ready to come in here and then with this field, new ROM. We're going to save another new ROM. This will be platinum _ maps and _ clean .nds. I think you need to always remember to put on the extension, and then write ROM. And then in the folder, it'll show up. Beautiful. And we'll just take the new copy and put that back on the desktop. This is now our main ROM. So that's all done. So we can close that, close this. Okay, so now we get to phase 5. This is the part where we're going to hex edit the ROM so that it will force it to not load in the player's room, which I believe is map header 415. We're going to change it to load into map 411, and then also give it the exact spot on my map that I want to land on. Okay, what I need for that is a hex editor. The one that I have is HXD. There we are. Oh, and it's on the wrong monitor. There we go. And as always, this one, I don't think it's in this folder. But if you go into the DS videos, yes. I believe, yeah, the install that I use to install it for this version is in there. And also a link to their website that you can just use to get the latest version. And what I can do is go File, Open. And then on the desktop, I can scroll down and try to find my Platinum ROM in this ocean of files. There it is. So Platinum Maps Clean. Okay, so now we are here. So what I have for this exact spot in the map editing folder for your reference is we need to find these, because right now we're changing the spawn coordinates basically. So I have a folder for that. And the first thing we'll look at is this image that I made to help explain. If I get it to the right size. There we go. Okay. So this is showing off the Platinum ROM, as I do with most. But I try my best to show off what you should do for your other ROMs as well. So the main thing is that we have... Does this get any bigger? Does it get bigger? Oh, it does. Ooh. How big can we go? That big. Okay. So I'm doing the middle one here, Platinum. And these are the offsets that I need to change right here. I need to scroll down to these lines on this side and go there. If you want Diamond or Pearl, they're the same line up here. And then if you want Heart, Gold, Soul, Silver, you want these down here. However, yeah, unlike Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum, the ARM9, which is specifically the file that we're changing for this, is compressed. So you have to go through an extra process to uncompress it. So you can see here it talks about a HDSS coordinates tutorial.txt file, which is also in the same exact folder because I try to be helpful. There it is. So you just open up that that file there, and this is actually a copy paste of someone's tutorial where I got their permission to put it into this file here for your reference. So I just keep everything in one spot, and it talks about how to get out the ARM9 where it's uncompressed and you can edit it as you want. And there's a link to their original post right there if you want to see it, and or send them a thank you. But alright, so I'm going to leave this open for later. I need to explain what all these colors mean. But first, let's find the line that we need, which is EE120. Okay, we just gotta scroll. I just gotta make this bigger. Doesn't help. Okay, we're just gonna scroll. Wait, now I've already gone far too far. There's a lot of files, and the thing goes very quickly. Here. Okay, this is the one that we want. Okay, so now that we're here, where is my image? Aha! So there are 4 things that we want to consider for this line and the line after, EE130. So the first one is the map header we want to change it to. Right now, it is 9F01. And what that should be, the map header of 415, the original map, but converted into hex. And that sounds like a nightmare, but Google is again our friend. I'm going to do real quick is open up a new notepad. There we are. And we're going to go 415 like so. I'm going to grab a new tab of Google. So we'll just type in 415 in hex. And it will tell us, okay, equals 0x19f. And maybe you've already seen what the pattern is. But so you have to convert it into the hex type that the games use. So you don't see any 0 times x in here at all. You see the values 9f01. So copy, I'll paste this. You delete the x. You take the last 2 digits and you put it 1 space before the 2. And that's it. Okay, so now we have 9F01. So what I want to do, since I'm changing it from map 415 to 411, the header of the of Twin Leaf Town that I inserted. I hit enter, and it is 096. So this turns into 411 equals that, which then I just do my flipperoo again. I'll line it up because I want it to be okay. So I did all that just to reveal that all I have to do is change the F to a B. That's because these maps are so close together. The further they apart, the more you're going to have to change. But that's how you find the value. So, as I show here, I need to find... make this easy, I'm going to put this at the top. There we go. Okay, so we come to the line that we want to edit. And click in between. And I just typed the letter B. Okay, so that shows up as red. That does not mean that there's an error. It just means that that's different. If I click save, it turns back to its regular color, which is fine. Okay, so that's it. I have the starting map set to be 9B. Now, I actually think this only ends up mattering for what nameplate shows up when you load in, but we'll worry about that later. So that's the easy line. Now we have to get into the next line, which is here, here, and here. These ones marked in red, blue, and originally purple, but I guess pink. How that ended up. And so these are the matrix coordinates that you want to land on. And the best way to show what that means is to go to SDSME and go back to that matrix. And I'm going to go to the map header version. Here we are. Okay. So basically, you're trying to tell it where on all of these maps, because each one of these numbers is its own individual map of 32 by 32 tiles. And we need to come all the way down here and tell them we want to land on this spot. So we have to calculate what those coordinates are. And I have 3 different ways of doing so that you can try to use to get these numbers. So first, let me show you... Oh, and this ocean of windows that I have open right now. Let's minimize Google for now. And the heck, well, we're not ready for that. Okay, so bring that up over here. I need to open PDSMS to show you where I want to land. So we go File, Open, go away. Okay. And we go to Desktop, Map Editing, Map Examples, and go to my starting one here. Where I want to land, we get a smaller tile. Where I want to land is right here. So on this map, I need to know how many to the right and how many down this tile is. So 0, 0, or the starting tile for a map, is the top left. So I will go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'll come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I am 15 to the right, and I am 17 down. I'm going to note this down on here. So I'm going to add a line, since that's just for the header above. So my spot is 15, 17. Now, I'm going to personally say that these coordinates are 15x by 17y. Now, this is what I've seen used by tools and by other areas there as well. Like if you look, there is a value like this in SDSME. Go to a map file and we'll load 0, 0, 0. Go to move permissions. You'll see that there's X and Y here. But there is some debate on if it should be 0 or the X coordinate and the Y coordinate, or if it's supposed to be the X coordinate and the Z coordinate. And that's because technically a DS game is 3D. So, okay, like if I look at this 2D view like this is a grid, like math. You remember math. We all hate it. But, and on a math grid, left and right are the X and up and down are the Y. But when you're dealing with a 3D object, like when you look at it this way, the way that you look at your map would be if you were standing on it. So it would be if you're looking this way. But that means that up and down from this perspective is this way. And then left and right still stay the same, so that would be over here. But then this direction, this green line, is now the Z. So if you take that perspective, where blue is the Y, then if you look at the map from the top down, that means that the Z is the axis that we want this way, and the X is what we want that way. So, I guess in a way, both descriptions are correct, but most people use X and Y as these coordinates here. I'm mentioning this only because I just learned about this myself in the Discord today, and there was a discussion about this. And I don't think anyone is right or wrong with it. It's just a matter of your perspective. Are you dealing with a 3D mentality or a 2D mentality? But most tools deal with the 2D one, so I'm going to be consistent that way, so there's not any confusion between what I'm saying and what someone else might say. I think even go here, this tool, and PDSMS, if you go to the 2D view, it says that the Z, which is how high you raise these tiles, and that would technically be the Y in the 3D view. So, anyway, that's just for your reference. You don't have to worry about that too much. We will go back to our X and Y coordinates here. So now so this is just my map, but we're talking about the coordinates. No, talking about the coordinates on the whole entire matrix 0 here, which is huge. So this is when we get into method 1 of how to find the coordinates that we want. For me, all you need to do is to count how many maps there are to the left and above your map. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the map header as well, just to get less colors. So, my map is 0411. So that means that it is the 28th down and the 4th to the left, which means there are 27 above it and 3 to the right. So what I have to do then is just do a little bit of math. 32 times 3 plus my original value of 15 equals 111. So that's how far I am for tiles, because each of these is 32 tiles by 32 tiles. So it would be 32, 64, 96. 96 added to 15, which is 111. Perfect. Okay, so that is my X, and for my Y, I am 32 times 27 plus 17, which is my original Y, as I'm going to call it, equals, let me check my notes where I did my math, 881. Y. That's my spot. Okay, and there is the coordinates that I want. But that's how I find it with math. I find this to be the most direct because that means that you can basically calculate where you want to land before you insert any maps. However, another trick, which I'll use by minimizing a few more windows to make this a little more clear. Okay, so method number 2 is that you can go to a spot that you know that's where you want to spawn. And then you can open up that save in a save editor, and then it will tell you your coordinates from there. So if I come in, and I have a version of this movie added into the folder, go ahead and open up that one, pull it over here, and open up in the other window, shrink it a little bit. Okay, so I have a game with a save file all ready to go. So I skip right in, get right in there, boom, here I am. Okay, so what I want to do is walk to the spot and get there. But how do you know? Well, you got to get to the top left corner. So I will go this way. Oh, right. The dad. Okay, this is one of the events that we removed in phase 4 with PPRE. Okay, that's fine. So what I need to do to get around this guy is, okay, go up 1. What do I included in the spawn coordinates is a walkthrough walls for platinum. So I can copy this code, and I can go into tools, cheats, list, action replay. Okay. And that the description says, so as you save, want to make sure as well that cheats is not disabled. Okay, good. Is that if I hit, I believe it is RB, I'm able to walk through. Yes, okay, I can now walk wherever I want. So what I need to find is the exact point where the nameplate first comes in, Twin Leaf. Okay, so that is here. So then, hopefully I can walk this way. Haha. I go here until I hit Mystery Zone. Okay, so I walk back until I hit Twin Leaf. Okay, so here. So if I stand here where you can't see me, I walk up 1, route through 1. Walk down, Twin Leaf. Walk left 1, Mystery Zone, right 1. Okay, so since this is where those signs come up, right where I am right now, even though you cannot see me, is the top, well, actually, yes, basically it equates to the top left tile of the map. So this is where that spot would be. So, with the power of counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then, since I'm starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here. Okay. So I can come up, save. Yes. Let me save files here. Right, yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I can go file. And what you want to do is export backup memory, which will save it as a save file, SAV. Let's put it right in the desktop for ease of finding it. Test map. And save. And that should show up right here. There we go. I don't know why that has a Portal 2 icon, but that's fine. It's right there. Okay, and now we're gonna get into a honestly questionable tool, but we're using it just for viewing the save file, so we're fine. That is a save editor called here PK Hex, which is a tool made by Coodinates. And I can just double click this to open it. Okay. For automatic backups, I don't need backups right now. So the first thing though is I think this is first set up to use for like sword and shield. Yeah, it's a sword up here in the corner. So I need to go to options, settings, change this to my game, which is platinum. And then that's good. Close that down. And now, okay, now this actually looks like platinum. So file, open, and then we're going to here, and we're going to go find test map. Look for portal. There we go. Right there. Okay. So we don't need to do anything about editing Pokemon and making them stronger or whatever. I was warned that this tool was used for evil sometimes. But all that I need is to go to the save portion here, and then go to trainer info, and okay, it'll tell me right here, my X coordinate is 111, and my Y coordinate is 881, which makes me think that I did my 3rd grade teacher proud. Yes! Okay, it matches. And then again, you see here, it's called X and Y, so we're still being consistent. And the Z is, that's how high up off the ground I am, because the starting area maps use 1 instead of 0 for some reason. But anyway, okay, so that's method 2. And then really quick, if you're using Platinum like me, there's a really convenient Lua script. So if I do cancel, close down, all I have to do real quick is go here, take these Luas. I'm going to copy all this. Really, you only need this one. Lua51.dll, and then there's platposition.lua. I've also included Lua 5.1.dll, which I'm told this works on 64-bit Desmune, while the Lua 51.dll, which is not confusing at all, works on 32-bit. But it's been the 32-bit one that I've had the most success with. I've not seen this one work once, but I'm trying to help share files, so I figured I might as well include it just in case somebody has it. So I have a 32-bit version of Desmude in this folder. So I'm going to put that in there. So I go Desmude, and then I paste it in here, like so. Perfect. Okay, so that's already in there. So even though it's already open, this will already work. So I just got to come in here. I believe, yep, Tools, Lua. So new Lua. And I just need to browse to where that is. So that's on desktop. Right now I've made this map editing folder. And I put it in here. And it's right here. Okay, and it immediately works. I added that. You have to add that DLL into the folder first. You can put the Lua wherever you want, but I just keep them together. And immediately, you can see that it shows me my X, and again, my Y. And I can minimize that, go out of the way, and it will update no matter where I go. It will tell me exactly where I am. So if you're looking to do like scripting based on like where the tile is, like you want to be like, I want to be right here and I need to have someone come out of this house and talk to me. So you base it off of when player stands here at these coordinates. So that's pretty good. I have not been able to find out if Luas exist like this for other games. I've only seen it for Platinum, but maybe Google knows more. But I wanted to share it in case you're editing Platinum like I am. Anyway, so again, I have shown that I have done my third grade teacher proud, and my X and Y are 111 and 881. So the last thing I have to do, no matter how I found these, I can close this down. And again, get these out of the way. Gonna go back to Google and find 111 in hex. So that is 0x6f. And then we need to find 881 in hex, which is 0x371. Which then, so I use the same thing I did a little while ago, which is to copy it. 1, 2, 3. And then remove the X, take the first two, put it as a space before the first. 6F, and since it's only 3 digits, we just add another 0. So it's 6F00. Same thing for the Y. That'll be 1, 2. Okay, so we just remove the X, take the last 2, and put it as a paste before the first one. 7103. There's our values back from the hex editor. So if you come back with me into the past when we were talking about this tool, haha. So here's where we change 9B01, which is our map editor where we're going to land. We now need to change a few values for these coordinates here. All right, so I come back to my image, which is this one. Okay, so for the X coordinate, it's whatever's marked in red. So for Platinum, it's the 0400. So for me, I change the 04. It is 6F. And then for the blue, I change the 60600. And this one's a little bigger, so I have to do 71, and then it jumps over and type in 03. Okay, and that's it. Now there is one more that I'm not personally going to change, but you can if you want to. Directly below the beginning of the map header is this one, and that's player direction. This tells you what direction your player is going to be facing when they load in. For Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum, it's 0, which means they're facing upwards, away from you. In Heart, Gold, Soul, Silver, it's 01. And if you watch when they load in, they're facing down, which is towards you. If you do 02, you're facing to the left. If you do 03, you're facing to the right. So this value can pick which direction you're going to face. I'm told there are some past this, like some of them will make you take a step forward, some of them will make you run, but they also are buggy. So I think maybe if you're just starting out, just stick to 00, 01, 02, and 03 for up, down, left, and right. But I'm going to keep mine facing away, so I'm going to leave that at 00 for me. So I have my Map header changed here. My X coordinate changed here. My Y coordinate changed there. So I can go ahead and click save. And unlike the other tools, I don't have to save a new ROM to test this. And finally, here we are at the final phase. Phase 6, which is open the ROM and just see it work. And boy howdy, with how long this recording has been so far, I hope that's the case. So let's see. I can close this down, I can close this down. Minimize that to preserve my math for later. Okay, we're gonna come back into map editing. Desmumi, and here we do file, open ROM, and the last one that we saved was our most recent version, which was our Platinum Maps Clean, like so. Okay, so I'm going to go through here real quick and go to the intro, so I don't need any information. Thank you. And then here a Pokeball, press the button. Yep. Can you tell I've tested this a lot lately? Go through. And am I a boy or a girl? I'm a boy. Yes. What is my name? J. Playing this sped up is easy. That. Okay, yes. And then we got Roy's my boy. Yes. And we go through. Okay, so we get to this screen, and then we have to wait a couple seconds for it to hit A. Yes, and hello. Welcome to my newly inserted map, where I can't walk into the trees. Let's see, I did fix these. Yep, I can walk up and down my ladders. Oh, yes, we are good. You can see there's no buildings around, no mailboxes, none of the NPCs are still here. A big test for me was to be able to walk under this bridge, because this actually matched up to where the dad was that you saw earlier, where if I crossed his path, he'd stop me and tell me to go to his house. So if I can walk up through here, yes! So that's been removed. I can go up here. There's no rival or professor to go through the whole spiel. This is all my own map now. And yeah, this is my second map up here where I've added some water. And then I have my ladder up here. I can go up, yes, and walk around the outside of my map. So I can finally come down here, cross the bridge that I made, come all the way down. Wish I had the run button, go all the way around. And you can see that the edges are not entirely blended, but you can see here, this is where we connect to the regular overworld. So what I could do is either take some of these edge maps and put it here, and then raise them up so they're flush with my ground, or I could just not have a wall here and add a new custom map to just connect to and start expanding my world. But that's been the hope of this whole journey, is for you to get to this point where you can insert your map, start on it, and then just keep adding maps to it to expand out your own world and make your own spot. So I know these 2 videos have been my longest yet, but I do hope that I've filled them full of enough information to make them useful, so you can start trying this, because it is really, really fun. But that's about it, though I do want to mention really quick. So we've cleared out these maps, and they are now blank in terms of NPC interaction and things like that. However, we have not changed things like the encounter rate for this route, which is still 201. So if I walked into this grass, I would start a battle but have no Pokemon to do it. Then a failsafe would kick in. At the moment anything tries to happen, I immediately lose the battle and then get kicked back to the last restart point. Now the restart point changes as you visit Pokemon centers, but the starting one is your house. So if you go into the grass, you meet a Pokemon, and then you faint, you're going to get teleported back to your house. So you can see that the next thing we're going to have to learn is some scripting to change that respawn point, and then also to give yourself a starter. So hopefully some videos on that soon. But I think that's enough for today. Everything is here and working, and if I flirt with danger, I can walk through my grass. You can see it actually has the animation on it, and I have myself a fine set of maps, which again are in the folder so you can download them and play with them, if that'll help. But alright, I'll wrap up things here, and hopefully get you guys some more episodes soon. Good night, everyone!